Hey Scorpios, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your October general reading here. So before I get started, a quick announcement. I am now over on Patreon. Woo woo! I'm doing a lot of extra content over there, channeled messages for the collective, animal energies with advice, just a lot of good extra stuff, and a lot more of the personal touch as well over there. I would be honored if you could join me over there. All that information is in the description box below. All right, brilliant. On to your meditation. Let's talk. Let's talk about Roswell, New Mexico. Let's talk about the aliens. Listen, like, where do I even go with this? I saw the Scorpio Collective. I saw actually an image from this deck that says Cave Sanctuary. And actually, can I find it right quick? It's the image of someone in a cave. And there's, you know, how they used to write their stories on the wall. It's an image of a guy in a cave with writing his story on the wall. There's this energy there because it took me from that. Oh my God, this is going to be at the very bottom. It took me from that straight into Alienville and Roswell. So there's very two distinct energies. I bet it's going to be at the very bottom, but I'm like a dog with a bone, and I won't stop till I get to Cave Sanctuary. This is what I saw in your meditation. Actually, I'm really glad I'm holding this right now. I'm going to show you something. Okay. So I saw the Scorpio Collective. This is y'all, okay? Then I saw y'all stand up, walk out into the middle of this desert here, and then I saw this light from a UFO. It's a metaphor, of course, with a beam of light down on you, and I heard you, or I saw and heard you look up and go, beam me up. And then I saw you getting beamed up into the ship and then realizing it was like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain reveal moment. And it was all puppetry, shadow figures and puppetry and effects and mirrors used to make one thing look like another. And you went, wait a minute, it's all puppetry? It's all effects? And then I saw you have this moment of realization, and I heard you say, oh my God, I'm the Magi. Because there was this feeling of you, this moment of realization where you're like, you know, beam me up, take me there. I'm ready to, you know, be one of you and ascend and join y'all and all of this other stuff. Take me from here to there. Take me from here to there. Which we could also look at that as a higher perspective as well, right? Longing for and seeking out that higher perspective, right? So then you get there and you realize that you built the entire set yourself. And everyone is just the stagehands and the UFO, which is a set, are all looking at you going, hey, you hired me. I'm only doing what you hired me to do. And you having this realization of like, oh my God, I'm in my own movie. I'm the Magi. I created all of this. And oh my God, it was me all along, right? I'm obsessed with that's, you know, where we're starting. I'm just going to keep this dude out here. But also the fact that he's like writing his own story as well, or drawing his own story, whatever have you. This speaks to me of also, you know, ancestry and lineage and what you leave behind. And if we think about, you know, the image of a UFO, that's about the future, right? And I will tell you, I just did a collective reading, and there was a huge sense of the past and the future, a throwback to the past with an emphasis on the future. Very interesting. Two very distinct energies operating simultaneously, almost as if they're two trains on two tracks that are right next to each other, the past and the future. Very interesting. Which also makes sense with the Magi or the magician aspect as well, right? Time being an illusion, etc., right? Interesting. It's kind of like the Matrix in a way. Let's see what your animal energy is. Yeah, I just got a ping on that. It's very much like the Matrix. Follow the white rabbit, all that. Oh God, yes. Okay, ooh, crow at the bottom there. Hey. Y'all got the owl. And I'm living and breathing, and then I die for this. Because okay. Ooh, it's so good. First of all, the owl. So this is associated with intuition, clear sight, right? So it's a common misconception that the owl can't see it all during the day and it just sees, you know, well or clearly at nighttime. But in actuality, And Ted Andrews says this in his book Animal Speak, which is really brilliant, which is that actually for the owl, it's that he carries within him, or she carries within her, right, the sun. So that means that when it's, you know, midnight for the rest of us out there and we're squinting to look around and see well, the owl, to the owl, it's high noon. So it's about that they see just as clearly at nighttime as they do during the day, right? So it's that equal sight and vision. Ooh, I'm going back to these two tracks in the past and the future, and this duality and that aspect there of shadow and light. There's something to that. Because you see this fire here as well, and then we have the shadow on the wall, shadow and light. And then getting beamed up into the UFO and getting the curtain, the wizard's curtain pulled back and going, oh my God, this is what it is, right? So the owl equates to the Ten of Cups. Yay! How lovely is that? Ten of Cups, complete emotional fulfillment. Right? But I love also that this is air energy for you as well, because we saw that UFO and that upward energy of that perspective. It's like a very clear perspective is afoot. A very clear perspective. Beautiful. But I also feel that within this perspective, you are seeing things that were likely always there. You just didn't see them before. You didn't have full access to it, or you had certain biases or blocks operating within and around you. Or maybe it just wasn't time to see them, and now you are. It's like you have access to all of the information. And I do feel like this is largely about you, but I also feel like it is informing how you see others around you and your given circumstances. Okay? Lights up. That's what it feels like. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever noticed that. See how it's dark and then you have these little spots of light? Yeah, something to that. All right, let's see what's going on for Scorpio for October. Oh yeah, and we're doing October and you got the owl. I mean, is there a better animal to speak of October? Oh wow, wait. Ooh, you got the Pope. So this is the Hierophant, right? So this is really beautiful here. This is Doris energy, but here's why I'm obsessed with this. Because 5, right? 5 is the number of change, which is really lovely. Because we have the cave here, which is leaving your mark, right? Over time, you can imagine that his story is still going to very much be on the wall. You can see this hand reaching out too, which speaks of lineage and connection, right? Point of illumination with the fire here. So I really like this because the Pope, or aka the Hierophant as it were, is about lasting effects, but also a traditional approach to things. And I'm getting this call, why am I seeing Martin Luther? When the church turned, or not turned in a bad way, but it was when I'm seeing the image of Martin Luther pinning his, thoughts on his notes and edits for the Catholic Church. Notes and edits, thank you. Pinning that on the door to the church. And, everything that happened as a result of that, how it really changed things in a really important and long-lasting, that's what I'm getting here, long-lasting way. I do feel like there is change imminent within and around you. I do feel like whatever you're working on, whether this is your personal story or this is the work that you do that is personal to you, I just got a shiver with that. The work that you do that is personal to you. Okay, I feel like there is an aspect of it's leaving a lasting impression, and it is going to be how you make your piece of the world better than how you found it. When you leave this earth plane, what is the work or impression or gift that you're leaving behind? That's what's in the air and on your mind for October. Okay? Ooh, whoa. Okay, what's going on? Capricorn just got this. Huzzah. 6 of Wands. I mean, hi and hello. So first of all, the Wands are about the actions that we take. They also rule the realm of artistry, right? And desire and your imprint. Oh, your imprint. That feels important, your imprint. And so 6 of Wands, this is victory. This is victory in public, right? This is external victory that you feel internally. This is an internal sense of victory that exudes to your external given circumstances, right? So it's an inner and outer victory working in tandem. This is really beautiful. This is sort of marching forward going, yes, victory, I did it. But this is also about, and I'm drawn to the owl's eyes here, you having a certain, how do I say this? It's about influence. I feel like you are in a position of influence, or you have the ability, whether this is through this could be a lot of different things. This could be a source of influence within your community, right? Where people look to you for guidance. Maybe you write some sort of, article for your town or city that people look to for guidance and perspective or ideas for things to do. Maybe this is a social media platform, or maybe there's people who look to you for your advice on how you view things. Maybe this is just the influence within your family structure as well, right? Because the people look to the Hierophant for influence and advice as well, right? And if you think, I keep going back to the Elizabethan era, interestingly enough, there's this sense of that the church, even ruled over the king. I keep seeing, the Tudors, King Henry. I keep seeing that where it's like even the king, even King Henry, even though he was considered God's incarnate sitting on the throne, he still had to go through the church for everything, the Pope for everything, right? So there's a certain sense of the influence that you have, a sense of authority or influence, and it's like you're realizing that, yes, there's a responsibility inherent in that, but it also feels very aligned to what you're here to do. So it doesn't feel aligned with your soul purpose. It's like you are using your inherent gifts and abilities to help other people and influence them from a place of responsibility. Yeah, that's what that feels like. I have shivers. Whew. All right. What else? The moon. Okay, I can't with this. Do we really have the owl and the moon and the cave and the sanctuary and UFOs and reveals and you are the Magi? I love this. So the moon. Hi, this is beautiful. I want to say something about the moon as it relates to the energy that I'm picking up. And then I'll go into the traditional spoke of this. But what I'm getting with this, the moon is about hidden aspects in this context, hidden aspects of our psyche. Remember when I said that there are aspects of yourself or certain, there's a reveal moment, or the curtain is being drawn back and you're seeing the reality behind something? This could be the illuminated insights as to why you've made certain choices. Is your past not informing you but influencing you? That's the difference. Is my past influencing me or informing me? If it's influencing you, that's not as healthy, right? It's like you are operating on an old, or you're moving from an old operating system and you're being asked to update. Ooh, just felt something there. Yeah. Whereas if it's informing you, then you're learning from your past, right? There's something to that for y'all. The moon also is intuitive ability, psychic downloads and insights, and I'm very drawn, taking it back to this owl here as well, which also represents clairvoyance specifically, which is clear sight, clear seeing, clear vision. And then we have the moon, which is about things that are hidden and illusions and darkness and the subconscious. So there's something here. I feel like you are seeing things quite clearly, things that were either unknown to you or things that you just weren't able to see until now. Cool, huh? Okay, I don't know why they keep taking me back to this, but the Catholic Church, and when Martin Luther, he tacked those, notes to the church on the church door, and it was a revolution. It was a time when people who, who the church had not been good to, and this is not, I'm not trying to make a commentary or a social political statement on, religion. It's, I'm gonna stay in my lane over here. But that was a revolutionary moment because one person decided to say something out loud about an injustice that he observed. And because he did that, he changed the course of history forever. There's something about that. I just heard speak up, speak the truth, and make it known. Some of you guys are operating on a certain platform under a certain scale of influence, and you're being asked to expand it or allow yourself to expand it. There's something about that. That someone's telling themselves a story of, oh, I'm just a small fish in a big pond. Not so. You're a big fish in a big pond. Okay, the book. Oh, hi, hello. The lovers. So Gemini energy here. So I really, really love how this is coming across with the Pope, right? This is choices and love. Okay, can you guys just look at this and then imagine what I'm gonna say right quick? Because look, we have the Pope. This is also can equate to marriage as well, the marriage key or you know, traditional ties and contracts, right? And then we have the lovers and these two lovely folks in their wedding attire. Traditionally, Gemini, the lover's energy, Gemini energy here is about choices and about inner balance, that yin and yang, which is why it's brilliant. It's depicted this way, right? With the yin and the yang. But I also want to point out something. Can you imagine this couple trying to get married during the time that I've been tapping into here, during the time of the Tudors? There's something to that. There's something about revolution and breaking through any perceived limitations or construction, societal constructions, right? Something about that. Feels like you're being asked to, the way that you see things and the way that you feel about something is so needed by the collective, either this the collective in your given circumstances, surroundings, like close-knit group of friends, whether this is the people that, you know, the clients of yours, or whatever this context is, an audience that you have or that's coming towards you, your perspective, the way that you view things is medicine. It's medicine. And you don't want to keep that medicine to yourself. It's not what it's not meant for that. It's meant to be shared, right? Don't hoard your medicine. Why do I feel that there's a sense of like reticence or like, oh, should I say that? Should I share that? I'm hearing do it. That feeling, I want to point, I have shivers. That feeling of should I say that? Should I share that point of view? Should I go there? That is a sign that you are responsible, that you have thought, right? That you're coming from a place of, you're not just like flinging spaghetti at the wall and seeing if it sticks or just saying the first thing that comes into your mind irresponsibly, right? That's a good sign, right? But there's also a sense of you can use your intuition to click in and go, okay, I actually feel like this wants to be shared. This is not just for me, okay? 6 of Wands. Someone this equates to their personal story, where I came from, my history, my past, what I've been through. And by sharing that personal story or incorporating more of their personal sphere into their work or influence, they're going to help others who have been where they are. That's what it is. It's the personal touch. Okay. Oh, you have got to be kidding me right now. Okay, Page of Swords. This is the activist. You can't make this up. What have we been talking about? Was Martin Luther not an activist? Was Martin Luther not an activist? And a revolutionary. Page of Swords, this rules the realm of communication, written communication, spoken communication, social media. And we're talking about what do you have to say? What is your gift to the world? What wants to be shared? What about how you see things and your, view on things, needs and wants and is meant to be shared? Because it's going to help other people and have a revolutionary effect in whatever way that is, right? The activist. This is just, look at how she's like holding this loudspeaker. Speak your truth. Tell your story. God, this is really cool. Okay. I do feel like by doing this, you're going to be, there's something about you taking that risk, because it could be scary to go there, about taking that risk that's going to have tenfold, like the 10 of Cups, return, come back to you around it. It's like some sort of soul lesson or marker that's going, are they going to take that risk and do it? And then you do it, and then it's like the abundance is on another level, and suddenly you're getting calls to, partner up with some influential people, stuff like that. Oh my God, I'm so obsessed with this. Whew. Wow. Okay, so this is really, really interesting. So we have the Seven of Pentacles here, but in this particular deck, it says failure right there, but I just want to point something out here because I'm going to tell you what I'm getting from this. This is a fear. Look at how dark this is. You can barely even make out what this is. Like, it's like, what's happening here? Are those pentacles? Are they kind of like dark, right? I mean, it looks really eerie. Like you can kind of see someone down, where is he? Down here, kind of, right? I want to point something out. This is the dark with the moon as well. I'm telling you, this is your fears because we're talking about speaking your truth, taking that risk, right? Being vocal about your standpoint, right? Okay, I'm just going to keep going back to it because it keeps coming up. When Martin Luther, penned those notes to the church door, he was risking his life. Risking the life of his family, risking the life of, that was a major and bold move. But thank goodness he did it, right? Because it really incited some really, much needed change because it's any governing hand that is that strict, and please hear me when I say this. I'm not providing some sort of commentary about the Catholic Church. This is not a personal opinion of mine. This is just, I can look at it objectively, right? From a historic lens and go, that led to a lot of equality that wasn't there before. Not complete equality, of course, we're not even there now, but back then, right? The Catholic Church had a very strict ruling hand, and it kind of leveled the playing field somewhat, okay? And there's this aspect here of taking that risk and the fear that's accompanied with it, but there's something about drawing back the curtain and revealing this with and for you. It almost feels like there's information here, right? Information, aspects of you, subconscious beliefs, or even aspects of your past. But I feel like for some of you, you are sitting on a gold mine of talent. Okay. Whew, I'm getting that some of you are really gifted at something that you would consider to be a hobby or would consider to be that you're just all right at. And there's a subconscious fear of failure there around it, of really giving it your full time and like a hefty go, because it's like, no. I feel like for some of you, this is writing. Because I see Martin Luther, he wrote that, right? This is writing. Some of you guys are really talented at it. Not everything, sometimes we just have inherent talents, right? Inherent gifts. It's kind of similar to the Capricorn reading in a way. Inherent gifts that we didn't go to school for. We don't have, right? We're just naturally good at it. Some of you guys, this is writing. Other of you, it's going to, be different for everybody. But I'm also drawn to the fact that this guy is writing on the cave walls. I'm hearing intuitive counseling as well. There's this aspect here where people are going to be coming to you for advice, or you're going to be writing down your advice and sharing it. And it's coming from a place of intuition. So it's a lot more powerful. I'm seeing a funny image from Charmed, the original series of Charmed, where the character of Phoebe became an empath, and she was an advice columnist. And so she started giving advice from a place of empathy. And it was like a whole other level to her work. There's something about that. It's something that you're naturally good at that you maybe not yet have the memo on, or maybe discounting for yourself. And you're being asked to really see that clearly within for yourself. I'm also hearing clairvoyant exercises. Awaken the third eye during this month. This month the veil is more thin anyway. So it's a really beautiful and apt time to get that third eye activated and going. I want to get an oracle for you guys, but I want the oracle that's way over here. So hold on just a second. Oh God. There we go. Okay. Ooh. Of course, Scorpio wanted me to get the oracle that was way at the back, just out of reach. Yes. Okay. Ooh. You know what's interesting? I want to bring this up because I feel like it's pertinent, and I genuinely don't believe in accidents. I felt like I wanted the oracle way over there, but I knew that to get it, I would have to stand up and expose my arm, my whatever would go through the frame on camera. And I was like, oh, this is about I don't want to do that right now. I'm just trying to like be here in the reading. I'm not trying to like have a, you know, moment of like expose where suddenly I'm a character in this whole thing. I'm not trying to do that, right? Because it's unplanned and who needs it. But it's interesting because I had a choice to make, and it was about a reveal. Like, do I reveal my whole arm? Do I lean in and get it, or do I just like stay over here and choose another oracle deck? I feel like that's a message for you because it has to do with reveal, right? And also taking a risk and like going for it anyway. Something about that. Anyway, see what your animal oracle is. Oh my God, I just got shivers all over my body. The owl. That's why they wanted me to go. Oh my Lord. Are you serious, Scorpio? That's why. You're like, girl, you better get up and get that debt right now. Do it. Okay, y'all. I just want to acknowledge that you just got the owl twice. By the way, this says wisdom, right? Look at Athena there. Look at Athena. Look, they're even the same kind of owl. This is so beautiful. You have two, can we just like have a moment of recognition? Obsessed. What else can we say? This is just a button on the reading. I also want to point out this intergalactic constellation happening here and the image that I saw at the beginning of your reading. So this is really, really beautiful. Take the time to see yourself clearly and really be honest and open with what your inherent gifts are and coming from a place of what is your gift that you are meant to share with others, not just keep to yourself. It might surprise you. Okay? All right, my lovely Scorpios, this was a moment. I so hope that this helped and resonated. If so, please do let me know in the comments below. I live for reading your comments. And with that being said, just thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.